Another tragedy has taken place in one of America's toughest gun control cities. The Chicago Sun-Times reports that 2 people are dead, and 9 are wounded in various Thanksgiving weekend shootings. Several shootings were reported throughout the holiday. Most recently at 1:26 a.m., an 18-year-old man was sitting in his vehicle in the Southside Chatham neighborhood when someone approached, pulled out a handgun and announced that he was robbing the man. Refusing to comply with his assailant, the 18-year-old victim suffered a gunshot wound in the left armpit. After being admitted to the University of Chicago Medical Center, he passed away. In another case, a 24-year-old woman was standing with a group of friends in the Old Irving Park neighborhood when they got into an argument with 3 men. During the argument, one of the men pulled out a gun and fired at the group, striking the woman in the back. She was taken to Illinois Masonic Medical Center in critical condition. Chicago police have said the woman's friends are not cooperating with investigators in finding the culprit. Another man, James Jones, 38, was driving through an alley with a female passenger and approached a group of 3 men. The 2 groups of people exchanged words before one of the men pulled out a gun and shot Mr. Jones in the head, killing him instantly. When Mr. Jones' neighbor, a 54-year-old man, was woken by detectives knocking on his door, he was shocked to find that his longtime neighbor was killed. "Kids play outside here," the man said, adding, "but you have to hope that no one comes down the street shooting." According to the Chicago Tribune. Another shooting involved a security guard, in which a 22-year-old man was shot in the chest by security at a clothing and shoe store, with investigators finding strewn glass, clothing, and displays at the scene of the crime. So far, the 2016 Thanksgiving weekend was worse, with 68 shootings during the holiday along with 8 deaths. Holiday weekends have been a struggle for Chicago police to keep under control, with shootings skyrocketing during these periods. Throughout the July 4th weekend in 2017, over 100 people were wounded, with 14 losing their lives, as reported by USA Today. The majority of approximately 2,000 shootings in the city take place in predominantly Black and Latino neighborhoods on the city's west and south sides where gang-related feuds are common. President Trump announced earlier in the year that the administration was sending additional law enforcement personnel to deal with the crime epidemic in the city. "Crime and killings in Chicago have reached such epidemic proportions that I am sending in federal help," tweeted Mr. Trump earlier in the year. Chicago has some of the strictest gun prohibition laws in the country, yet shootings in that city have skyrocketed. Should Chicago revisit how they combat their city's crime? Chicago's situation is a stark reminder of the ineffectiveness of gun control laws in reducing violent shootings. Despite having some of the most draconian laws in the country prohibiting gun ownership, the constant shootings never seem to cease. As conservative economist Thomas Selwell wrote in The Guardian, the key fallacy of so-called gun control laws is that such laws do not in fact control guns. They simply disarm law-abiding citizens, while people bent on violence find firearms readily available. It's an unfortunate tragedy that's becoming all too frequent in the city.